Good evening, everybody. So I'm going to say some things, maybe not the most popular things to say, but I think they need to be said. I'm going to start this video off by sending out my deepest, warmest, heartfelt condolences, thoughts, and prayers to anyone affected by Sunday morning's terrorist attack in Orlando, Florida at Pulse nightclub. There is no words that can comfort you during this time of great loss and sorrow. I know this, but take comfort in the Lord and know that may He wrap His loving arms around all of you who are affected, and may He bring you some sort of closure, for we don't know why this happened. Now that that is out of the way, and that was as absolutely sincere as humanly possible, I want to preface this video by saying that this is not a homophobic video, because anyone who subscribed to this video regularly, this channel, knows some of my best friends are gay, and I think personally they're no different than you and I. They are people, and if you try to dehumanize a gay person, do me a favor and click off of this channel right now, because you are about to get a smackdown. If you leave a comment dehumanizing a gay, I will make you a fucking famous person, because you are an asshole. You're not afraid of anything by being a homophobe. You're just an asshole. Morgan Freeman. Great quote. Anyway, on to the subject of the video. After 9/11, we knew what we were dealing with. Radical Islamic terrorism. Hell, after the USS Cole bombing in 1997, 96, 98, maybe something like that, we were dealing with radical Islamic terrorism. In 93, when the World Trade Center was bombed the first time, we knew what we were dealing with. Radical Islamic terrorism. Chattanooga, Fort Hood, Boston Marathon, San Bernardino, all radical Islamic terrorists. Some homebred, some came from elsewhere. But what we have is an epidemic of an ideology. Now, this is an enemy that has waged war on the United States of America, where they chant death to America, and they feel as though they are heroes if they die killing innocent Americans. Terrorists' job is to instill terror and change our way of life. It's an ideological difference. Now, let me make this crystal clear. I am fully understanding that not all Muslim people are terrorists. I also understand that not all terrorists are Muslim. And what does that mean? There are white terrorists, there are black terrorists, there are Asian terrorists, there are all kinds of freaking terrorists. Anyone who commits an act of terror is, by definition, a terrorist. That little punk kid, Dylan Roof, who I shouldn't even say his name, to be quite honest with you, he doesn't deserve it, was a terrorist. The ones in Columbine were terrorists. Alright, so before anyone calls me a racist, I want to make that clear. If you commit an act of terror, you are a terrorist. The one who bombed the Oklahoma City building, and I do know his name, but he doesn't deserve my name to be said. He's a terrorist. He was an American white male, but he's still a fucking terrorist. So now that we've established that there are terrorists, since we're in such a divisive group, America, let's make it more clear. We are at war with terrorism. We are at war with radical Islamic terror. Not all Islam, but radical Islamic terrorism. That is a big deal. We have a president, a commander-in-chief, who refuses to utter the words radical Islamic terrorist. Now, when a Caucasian terrorist, and again, I'm not trying to make this about race, but it always seems to end up that way in this country, went into a church like the little chicken shit, punk bitch coward that he is, and shot a bunch of people and killed them, like a terrorist does, because that's what a terrorist is, a little chicken shit punk bitch, regardless of race, creed, or religion. They banned a flag, and all kinds of shit. All hell broke loose. Okay? That was an act of terror. It wasn't an act of hate crime. All crimes are crimes of hate. So it was an act of terror. But we had a New York-born, apparently an American-born, registered Democrat. Maybe he did, or maybe he didn't vote. I don't know. But that's what he was registered as, and that was reported. Islamic faith terrorist who reportedly pledged his allegiance to ISIS in a 911 call, who slaughtered like a coward tried to slaughter over 100 people because they're gay, because they're Americans, name it. Because somebody needs to tell me something though. Why is our president, okay, Dylan Roof kills 9 people, horrible act, deserves the death penalty in my opinion. And I'm not really necessarily for the death penalty, but such a chicken shit cowardly act, he deserves what he gets. Alright? And it's an act of, they ban a flag. Black Lives Matter movement, destroy cities, riot, they blame the police. Somebody blows up a building, we blame the bomb, because that's what did it, right? No, we blame the person who blew up the building. Somebody stabs a bunch of people, we blame the stabber or the terrorist or whatever the case may be. A terrorist goes and shoots up a bunch of people. What do? We blame the gun. It's like we're absolving the crime. Think about that for a minute, people. You have absolved this man of his crime. It is a terrorist act that he committed, and you're absolving him of it. Call it what it is. Terrorism is terrorism. Now, Bush was one of the worst presidents in American history. No question about it. Obama, you will forever be known as President Feckless. Worse than Jimmy Carter, the worst president in United States history. Bar none, hands down, no question about it. You are the worst. And I'm not saying that because of your race. I'm saying that because of your politics. You are an overzealous, egomaniacal, power-grabbing, anti-constitutional tyrant. So, Mr. Obama, I'm going to say this once, and I'm going to say this only once. You wish to ban the Second Amendment or edit or amend the Second Amendment? You want to take guns from law-abiding citizens? Hey, check it out. You personally, come take mine. You can't. Now, I will never shoot at the president out of sheer respect for the office. But no one can possibly believe that anyone trying to alter or take away the Second Amendment of the United States isn't heading for a fucking civil war. Because that's what we're heading for. There are over 300 million legal gun owners in the United States. If we were all these violent sociopaths that people like you, anti-gun people, say we are, none of you would be alive. These shootings only happen in soft targets where there's no guns allowed. If somebody was in that nightclub packing heat, maybe 50 people didn't have to die. Maybe more would have died, who knows? But we'll never know, because gun laws don't work. And this isn't about gun laws. Right now you have ISIS laughing because they're taking credit for a terrorist act, and our president is blaming and disarming its citizens. At a time of war, when we need our citizens, our well-trained citizens, armed to the tooth, you're trying to disarm us. You, Mr. Obama, are the weakest, most feckless president in the history of the United States. You are a treasonous pig who deserves prison. And Hillary Clinton, you're just a piece of shit. Donald Trump, you're not much better, but Hillary Clinton, you are a piece of shit. That's that.